This video is going to be a small introduction to Microsoft Excel, just where things are, how things work, and how to get things organized. So Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet, and it can be used to create databases, use a lot of powerful formulas, or all sorts of different things. So just some basic things. To highlight selections of data, you can either click and drag an area to highlight any region that you want. You can click in the column headers. Notice that the columns are all labeled by letter of the alphabet. Clicking a column header will highlight the entire column. Or on the side, the row numbers, clicking a row number will highlight an entire row. So if we wanted to create a header here, we could highlight all of row 1, and then you'll have options here for text color as well as fill color. So I'm just going to make the fill color maybe this green. And I'm just going to throw in some random information here just to kind of show how Excel functions. So I'm going to pretend that there's a business that's keeping track of maybe what they've paid their employees. So in column 1, or in column A, I'm going to put employee name. And then in column B, I'm going to put salary. And in column C, I'm going to put date paid. Now, notice that when I put in salary for column B, that column A is chopped off. So we can adjust the width of a column by going on the little divider between A and B, clicking and dragging it back and forth. So I've got a massive column A. Could narrow it. If you want to auto fit it to exactly the text, you can go on that divider and double click, and it will automatically adjust it to the longest text. So maybe my employees are Susan, Dirksen, Larry Fair, and Martha Jansen, and Stephen Weeb. Salary, let's say Susan is paid $64,000, maybe Larry is paid $62,000, Martha is paid $35,000, and Stephen is paid $24,000. Now we can also format numbers to be money, so I can click the column B header to highlight all of that. And then in the Home tab of Excel, we have a button to format it as money right here, so I can just click that. And notice now it's automatically put in the $sign, the comma, and the period. If you want to change how many numbers are visible before or after the decimal, you can do that using these two buttons here. So this one will add more numbers after the decimal. This one will remove numbers, even that we have just the number, but if we're dealing with money, we usually go 2 decimal places. I can readjust that column. Date paid. This one we can format beforehand, so I'm going to click column C to format it. And you have some options for formatting here, but they're pretty limited. If you click this little drop down, we can see some other options. So I want to go into date, and then you'll see there's a whole bunch of different options here. They all use the same date, which is March 14th, 2012, so that you can see the different ways that they are organized. So I like this one. No reason really, just the one I prefer. So if I hit that, and then if we say that maybe they were all paid on, let's say, May 26th, I can go 5-26, and it automatically formats that in the way I want. So again, maybe if this person was paid on May 22nd, I could do 5-22, and that'll automatically format that as well. Now, if we have, let's say, other students, or sorry, employees, I'm just going to throw in some names here. If they were all paid on the same date, instead of entering that date all the time, I could just click on one of them, grab this little square in the bottom right corner. You'll notice the mouse changes. Click that and drag down, and it's supposed to copy just one value and trace it down. However, Excel is also very good at recognizing patterns. So here it's thought that we've been counting, so it's gone the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. If that happens, we can just take the 22nd, go Control C for copy, highlight the other region, go Control V for paste. So Excel is very good at patterns. If we had, let's say, a pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of continuing down, I could just highlight this region. That's the region I'm using the pattern. Click the bottom square, drag it down. It'll continue the pattern. You can also go like A, B, C. It should recognize this pattern. Oh, it recognized the pattern, but it didn't continue it. It replicated it. So sometimes you have to work with them a little bit. To get rid of large regions, you can just highlight and hit the delete key. Now, Excel is mainly used for formulas and functions. So let's put in some extra values here, maybe 58,000, 61,000, and 35,000. I'm going to highlight this region here as well. And then let's say we want to know the total salaries paid here. We can, anytime you're entering a formula, function, or equation into a cell, you need to start with the equals key. On the number pad on the right hand side of your keyboard, you already have the plus and minus signs. The asterisk is what you use for multiplying, and the slash is what you use for dividing. So I could just enter an equation here, let's say 6 times 6, and we'll see that that's $36. Now, an important thing to know about Excel is that in your spreadsheet down here, it shows you the result, but in the box up here, it shows you the actual equations or functions that might be hidden and what's really in the cell. So for example, this $36, if I click on that, that's just the result. It's $36, but notice up here in the box, it's showing me what I actually entered into the cell, which is 6 times 6. Now we can also enter formulas or functions. So if I go back here, instead of entering this, if I want to know the total salaries, I can go equals sum and then open bracket. All formulas and functions in Excel start with the equals sign, then the name of the function, and then an open bracket. So sum means to add, and I can just highlight the region I want to add, close the bracket at the end, and now before I hit enter, just make sure you know what these things mean. This is saying that we want to take the sum from B2, so that's column B, row 2, all the way up to column B, row 8. So column B, row 8. That region we want to add together. Hit enter. Notice that my cell automatically adjusted and the total is $339,000. Now, just like you can adjust column widths if you need to, you can also adjust row height if you wanted to for any reason. If I highlight this row, over here you can change how things are organized. Right now it's aligned to the bottom. I could middle align it, or I could align it at the top, depending on what you're doing. This one will allow you to align to the middle of a cell or to the right or left of the cell. So maybe I'll just do that. If you want to set everything all at the same time, you can highlight the entire sheet by going in the very top left corner to this little triangle, clicking that, and then you can adjust everything all at the same time. So notice by highlighting the entire thing and adjusting the row height, it's adjusting all the rows at the same time. You can also make information hidden if you wanted to. So let's say you had another column here. I'm just going to enter some random things. Maybe these are employee passwords. Oh, it didn't like that one. And let's say we wanted to hide those. You could just click on the column, right click, and then you can go hide. So it's still there. We've gone from E to G now. F is still there. and you can see it when these two little white bars show up. And if you right click, you can go unhide and it will show back up. You have a lot of different options for formatting things. If I click column F, go to data, here we have some options for sorting. Now, if I sort right now, it's only going to sort the area that I have highlighted, and it's going to leave the rest of it alone, meaning that the passwords would no longer match up with the employee. So if I want to sort a region, I'm going to click on the row header, and then click and drag to highlight all of these rows. Now when I sort, it's whether I sort by name or salary or password, it's going to at least keep the rows with each other. So Susan will still be connected to 64,000, will still be connected to May 26th, and still connected to this password. So I can either sort just alphabetically by A to Z or Z to A, or if you click sort, there's quite a few different options. So I can sort by which column. Column A would be the names. If I want to sort by salary, that's in column B. And then notice that Nancy and Martha have the same salary here. So I could add another level of sorting, add level. So after I sort by salary, then maybe I'll sort by name after that, so that would be column A. And you have options here. Salary, let's sort from smallest to largest, and by names, let's go A to Z. Hit OK, and it'll move everything around. The last thing, when you're working with really large spreadsheets and you need to find information very quickly, Control F is the find function. So if I go Control F, it'll open up this box, and I could just search for, let's say, Martha, hit find next, and it'll take me right there. So if you've got massive spreadsheets and you're looking for information, Control F to use the find function will be quite helpful.